Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the Live Podcast. I'm your host, Jan, and I have my co-host, Ray Gun.
Hello.
How you doing, Ray?
Good.
It's been a while since we've done an episode, but we were a little bit busy. I got busy with Anime Expo and some videos that I recorded, that I recorded when I went to Anime Expo and other stuff. Also, some designs. And what about you, Ray? Have you been busy or
grinding? Yeah, I've been busy. Working.
I see you grind.
4 jobs.
Yeah. 4 jobs.
Yeah, 4 jobs.
My goodness. You must be making bank now.
Right?
Making the big bucks, huh?
I took the advice of Mr. Samuels and started grinding.
Oh, yeah.
Lit the fire in my soul. So.
Well, good thing you mentioned King Samuels. Legend Samuels. In this episode of the podcast, we're going to be talking about a YouTube legend now because unfortunately he passed away, about 2 months ago or something like that?
2 months ago. Isn't it funny that people don't really blow up till they die?
Yeah,
unless you're a suicide bomber, you know?
Freaking all artists in art history, there's a story like they didn't blow up until they freaking died and shit.
Exactly.
I think, who was it? Van Gogh or
Picasso
there was
or something. I don't know.
Probably, but there was like a few that they even they committed suicide and then they blew up after they freaking died and shit.
Nirvana, Kurt Cobain. Well, I mean, he was kind of famous
Nirvana.
at the time, but I mean, he's still famous.
Still famous and kind of known for that, for committing suicide, which she did it. Nah, just kidding. So that's good.
Courtney Love killed him.
That was her. It was her. Well, in this episode of the podcast, we're going to be talking about, again, a legend in the, I'd say, maybe dating community or something like that.
Kind of like a coach personality.
Yeah, dating coach. Some people dislike him. Some people like him. Some people thought he was interesting. Some people thought he was funny. I actually thought he was hilarious. And he will tell you how it is when it comes to dating and coaching you. But we're gonna be talking about Kevin Samuels. He blew up sort of in the past 3 years or something like that.
I have no idea. Actually, I don't think I'd ever heard of him until he died. Sadly,
sadly. So I think same with me. I thought he was still around. I was watching some videos because I guess the algorithm freaking, I don't know, send it my way, and I was just binge watching freaking video after video after video, and then later on I'm like, oh shit, he died. I was just getting to know you and you died. What happened?
For me, I heard that he died, and then I started looking into his videos, and I was like, oh man, this guy's right up my alley. He just told it to people straight.
Yeah, I guess that's why he was pretty interesting, shall we say?
He was but controversial too.
Yeah, controversial, but we're gonna get into that subject a little bit later. So we're gonna be touching that. We're also gonna be talking about some pretty much dating, also coach, dating coach and dating experiences. We are not freaking dating coaches or anything like that.
We're just regular guys. At least I am. I'm a normal guy.
Well, actually, I have a bunch of experience. So actually, I do have some tricks and tips if anybody's interested. I'm gonna be a dating coach. I'm gonna write a book, freaking open a school and shit. and yeah, I guess that's the theme of the podcast. So let's get started. So who was Kevin Samuels? Who was Kevin Samuels?
So Kevin Samuels. You should have really prepared better, right?
Oh man.
So Kevin Samuels was a internet personality, right? He was like a dating coach. I think he described himself as an image consultant or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really funny because his background, he didn't go to school for any of that stuff. He was like a chemical engineer or something, or he had a degree in chemical engineering.
Mm-hmm.
He dropped out, right, and then he went in to work in sales, and that's where he kind of built his personality and got a lot of his life experience was in sales, corporate America, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was trying to do some research. I mean, I did research a while ago, but I sort of forgot because I got into other things. But yeah, you're right. He started with that. He got into sales, and then he noticed that if you talk in a certain way, well, there was like a whole podcast I saw of him.
Yeah, that was like an interview with him.
Yeah, if you talk certain way, dress certain way. Even I think he even confessed that one time he took an escort to one of his, I guess, meetings where he was trying to sell an item or something like that.
Who hasn't done that? Like,
I do it every week, every Saturday night, and it actually worked. Like it gave you like a, I don't know, a like you are presented in a way that people notice that. Like if you bring like a cute girl to a meeting or a party or whatever the event is, they see you with like status or something like that. Anyways,
like
that's more on the... I bring my dog and shit. I don't know if that gives me status or maybe makes me pitiful and shit.
Should I talk about my an example of that, my modern woman moment that I just had like a couple weeks ago?
Oh, what?
Nah, just showing up.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Showing up with a younger, prettier girl, and it like drives like the older women crazy and gets you like tons and tons of attention.
They started like freaking. They can smell the freaking.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
They can smell it and shit. But it has happened to me too, like time to time. I get a message or a DM from somebody that I haven't spoken with in years, and they see that I'm posting some nice photos, everything about my school or my career and my job and stuff like that, like some stuff on social media, and I think they feel like they're like, oh crap, I made a mistake. I should have gone with that guy instead of the other jock in high school. But there were some like teen moms and shit. They're already
best guy.
Yeah, they already have like a bunch of miles in it, and now they're like, oh, maybe he's my second chance. I'm like, nope. I am not your second chance. But anyways, so back to Kevin Samuels. That's pretty much sort of his background. But what he was known for in the YouTube platform is that he was sort of like a dating coach. He will tell you what exactly you needed to do, or he will put you like in not a category, but he will rank you on where you are in life and what exactly you should be looking for when it comes to a mate or a partner. So he would go either way, men and women. He was more, I guess, notorious or
for going after women, I guess, and that's what I think made him like quote controversial. So they made it. Call him, oh, he's like a misogynist, he's sexist, blah blah blah. But after you watch his videos, he like turns around and roasts men like just the same, and nobody said anything about that.
Yeah, exactly. The only people that are complaining is pretty much women and
people
all
he was talking about.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's not like controversial. It's kind of like reality. Like you live in this fantasy where, you can just wait and whatever, and then body positivity and everything's gonna be okay. And when reality hits, you're like, shit, I'm 35. I'm almost reaching 40. I'm a female, and I have nobody. Like, what the hell's going on? And then how come I'm not getting as much traction as before? And if I am, how come I'm just attracting losers and shit like that?
Where's my,
or married men?
Where's my $1 million man at?
Yeah, we're my $1 million studs and shit. So that's sort of like his content that he used to mention during his YouTube broadcasting and videos. But yeah, actually, I have to agree. He it is like that, just how he painted it, and also he will give you like an equation, which is kind of like a
formula,
cool.
Right? Like kind of like a formula.
Yeah, it's like a formula of your. I think it
dress size.
It depends on dress size.
Dress size. How tall are you?
How tall are you? Tell me your dress size and your age. But it's pretty much you incorporate like age, weight, social, well, not social status, but like
height, age,
height, age, Also, if you're doing like he will always do like a video call, and if you turn off your camera, he will like diss you. He's like, nope, I'm not gonna deal with them. You have to show your face and everything. And if you're a guy also, or actually also a woman, he used to ask, what's your income? Like,
oh yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So with that, he'll add it to like a formula, which I forgot the formula, but it's out there. You guys can like go and search
watch
it.
some of his videos.
Yeah. And that sort of ranks you or gives you sort of like pinpoints where you are and what partner you should be looking for. So some examples, and I guess he was known for this, for sort of breaking women's fantasy, especially older women where they are already, shall we say, well, not married, but either separated or never been married, but with kids. Oh. And they're expecting a Prince Charming to come and save them and stuff like that. But the reality, it's not how it works. And if it does, it's you're the exception. It's really rare that you find a attractive guy who make the big bucks. And we're not even talking like 100K anymore. We're talking, because 100K it's not that much. Yeah, also depending on what state. Yeah, these days. It depends on what state that you live in, but in the state where me and Ray live, California, 100K, especially if you are living in the, one of the big cities or the big counties, it's like the new.
That'll get you
40 or something.
That'll get you like, you could rent a 1-bedroom. That's it, in a house with other people.
Yeah. I mean, you can surely survive with you and a girlfriend or your wife, and you guys don't have any kids, but you guys start adding kids, maybe one kid, but you want to have 2 or 3, like 100K it's not gonna reach you far. So these women, they already have children from another baby daddy, right?
Yeah.
And on top of that, they're older, and on top of that, they probably are not size 2 or size 0, So, and also gravity takes its toll. You catching my drift? And they're expecting for a hot male with making 300K a year or more, and be able to take care of their kids and her, and she won't have to work anymore. And I'm like,
It's basically like the equivalent of like a fat, greasy dude like expecting a model to come in. Like,
yeah, exactly.
You gotta.
And catch this. And this is what a lot of women, not only those type of women that the delusional ones. This also happens with young women, or I guess younger women that they're expecting. So they're expecting like a Prince Charming to come, but they start asking questions that how come they end up with bad guys or losers or stuff like that. And the thing is that I sort of came to realize this. It's kind of like it's a philosophy that I sort of came up with, that what is it? Men end up with the woman they like, or the woman they like, and women end up with the guy they get. Meaning, guys, if you're a dude, you actually have a better chance to end up with the woman that you really like, or your perfect woman that you want, because we're more go-getters. And women, they just sit back and they just wait to get picked up or stuff like that. They don't really make the first move. They don't really pursue. And if they do, they only do it once, and they let it be. Like, they're like, okay, I gave him hints, and if he doesn't get it, then he's not worth my time, my time. And that's why they end up with either losers or men that they're like, well, he was the last one or whatever. So, piece of advice: if you're a young lady or a woman, if you like a guy, like, actually pursue him. Like, well, not like don't be a stalker, but go above and beyond if that's the guy that you want, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Sorry. Loser. No, it's good. Losers. No. So essentially that's sort of his content and why but most of the time he'll get different callers, and yeah, he will just put them in their place, and then they'll have like a moment of reckoning that they're like, oh yeah, that's what I'm doing wrong, or maybe I should be looking for this type. And he was sincere. Like he'll tell you like a few examples, like picture an example, older woman like in their late 30s 40s with 2 kids, divorced, or maybe they were never married. It's just
or
like
no kids, and they're expecting to have kids, and even though they're already like 40, and by age 35 that's a high risk pregnancy already.
Yeah, exactly.
So like, yeah.
Also, yeah, that's another thing. Like women, they think they can just wait and everything's gonna be fine, and not really. I mean, unfortunately, how biology works, and keyword biology. Women, you guys have like a time limit. Unfortunately, not that you cannot get a mate, that you will not be able to. What do you call? Well, not reproduce, but procreate, or nah.
What do you mean? Like your fertility goes down?
Yeah, I was looking for a scientific term and shit like that, but my brain wasn't processing well.
Impregnated?
No, I mean, yeah, like things can go wrong during your pregnancy, or
as women get older, they have a higher risk of complications and stuff happening.
Yeah, so and then what like by age 50 or mid 50, like 55 or something like that, you start getting menopause.
Oh, menopause, yeah.
Yeah. So
for pregnancy, I think like 41 is the latest. I think maybe 41 to 43 is like the latest.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on each case, but you don't really want to risk it. You have to like sort of start picking right now. It's like, okay, running out of time, so let's jump on the
chop.
Jump on the band. Let's get to work. Let's get to work, sister. Like James Charles. Okay, sister, let's go. Let's get to work, sister. So that's another piece of advice. If you're an adult woman, I don't want to say young adult anymore because you're probably already 30. I mean, if you're in your 20s, you still have time. No big deal. Well, I mean, mid 20s, a little bit late 20s, 27, 28, you still have time. No big deal. But by 33, I would say like you should kind of already be with someone, or planning to be with someone, or planning to have someone around that it's the best candidate to sort of reproduce and yeah, continue. That's if you want to have kids. If you don't want to have kids, then you're
kind of good in that department.
Yeah, you're good in that department. So, but and same thing with guys. Like, well, not same thing, but guys, well, we're like the opposite. Like women, they have their good years like early on. Yeah, early on, because when you're if you're a teen and then you become like a young adult and then you're an adult and stuff like that. I would say until maybe mid 30s, closing 40s. You're about to close shop, at 40.
Yeah.
But you're not. I mean, you're always gonna be desirable by somebody, right? Like, I guess in this life, you can be desirable by anybody at some degree or point. But that's when you have your time to shine, between your teens or your early 20s to your 40s, I would say. And guys, we're the opposite. When we're younger, we're kind of like stupid.
I mean,
well, not all of us, but like some of us, because man, I met some guys that, goddamn, they're freaking retarded and shit.
Idiots.
Yeah.
God,
idiot. and then by your 20, you're still kind of like figuring out like what the fuck, and trying to make money and shit like that, trying to build your career and stuff like that. And then by 30s, a guy should be starting making some dough, some cash and shit.
Jennifer Lopez said that men are useless till 33. So I mean, well, I didn't say it. J-Lo said it, right?
Yeah,
actually, a famous quote of hers.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. I mean, it depends, but I mean, it's a little bit true, because even for me, like, I'm still trying to figure out, and I'm already in my 30s. I mean, I already sort of kind of figure out and stuff like that, but I won't be able to make like this like new decade for me. Yeah, like this new decade, I think it'll be like my time to grow in financial, rather than my 20s and my teens. So, which that's another delusional aspect of older women, that they, well, not older women, but women in general, they expect to, it's like, I don't know if it's this new generation, that they're trying to seek for a Prince Charming. Like, let's give an example, like a 22-year-old
successful man.
Yeah, like a 22-year-old or a 24-year-old. And there is some guys over there, but the average guy, he's broke. He is not as educated at that time. As for example, a 23-year-old, 24-year-old, they've been waiting for, to date or something, because they're looking for that guy that is tall, tan, and handsome, and he has a career. He's like a doctor or engineer, and he's making the big bucks, and he has his own place, and he has his own car, and he can, provide and all this stuff. And I mean, what are you trying to look for? Are you trying to look for someone your age? If you're 23, 24, a guy at your same age is probably not gonna have all your requirements, ready for you to date him.
Yeah.
You're describing a 35 to 40-year-old that you will date, So that's maybe that's why sometimes women, they date older men.
I think that's in general why they date older.
Yeah, because but at that point, it's not dating. It's like just sugar mommy, and you want sugar daddy. But I guess.
Yeah, and also you should point out that those men, like the 1% of men, like they're like the 1% of men, like.
Yeah.
Even old in their 30s, like, I think the average guy makes like $44,000 a year in the USA. That's what, around like 20 something bucks an hour. So
yeah, some of them, then that's the average, and usually the majority or most people that you will know in your circle will probably make less. But like, picture this, like, who in your class of high school or college, okay, maybe high school, or fuck it, college, who has made it big, like he's one of those that freaking has a Ferrari and all that shit? Probably not. And that's like a lot, like a big pool of people that you've known. Actually, if you combine your class of high school and your class of college, maybe one or two have made it big. And maybe they're not handsome. Maybe they're nerds and shit. Yeah, maybe they're freaking nerds and shit. Actually, you know what? There's a higher percentage of guys. Well, maybe not girls, but guys if you combine your high school and college pool, there's a higher percentage of guys that will lean to drugs than that will make it and like become that 1%.
Oh.
So I don't know what that tells us in society, but that's what I've noticed, because
also women are outperforming men in like education. Like it's more often more likely that women will have like a higher degree than men. Women are men right now in terms of education, anyway.
Yeah, the thing is, and that's true, and maybe in the future it'll be a women's world, because they will run the world. Which I made this joke, and I don't know, I think a few on Instagram, a few friends or acquaintances or followers, they got mad and shit because I put remember that joke or that meme that it said if women run the world, there won't be any wars, just a bunch of countries not talking to each other. Well, I did some more analysis, and actually, I said this to my girl, and she started laughing. And I'm like, that's not true. If women rule the world, there will be a war every month. Get it? Because they have their menstrual cycle.
Actually, Kevin's if you go back to King Kevin, he says that's like the problems with the world. So women are taking on like men's roles basically, and men are becoming like women.
More like they're acting, like they're
it's like
pretending.
Yeah.
Because you cannot
like artificially, I
should
say, right? Does that make sense? Like it's happening, but like artificially, not naturally.
Artificially, but even if they want to push or they want to say that it's artificially or they are, it's not true, because like he said, it's a man-made world. Like man built this world, and I was analyzing because I was actually paying attention to some of the stuff he said, and I was doing some research like across history, technology and all that stuff, and actually it's kind of true. Like name one thing that and not to like start an argument or anything, but it's just like it's just analyzing and noticing stuff. But I cannot come up with anything or a name or a woman or a gadget that a woman has invented. Like computer, man. The railroad system, man. Medicine, man. Engineering, anything, just like, I was like, I can't think of anybody. So,
and yeah, if you look at history, it's mostly like everything worked out in the traditional sense. Men were like,
and even
creating everything and protecting women.
Even at this age, because I think there was like the big women's rights movement, and now what is it, 1920? Well, 1920.
The past 100 something years.
Yeah, 100. Well, that's only in America, but I guess in the world in general, they had like a good 100, a good 100 years,
Middle
and
East,
still,
I don't know,
no. Anyways, but yeah, see, like 100 years, I would imagine that. I mean, maybe there's been some developments and stuff, but not as famous, or nobody's talked about, or nobody really knows, or God knows what. But I can't think of anything that woman has actually created, like like the iPhone. Oh, it was a woman, but
and it's not even just the creation either. It's just like maintaining it and everything. Like almost all the manual labor, the hard jobs, they're all staffed by men. Like who does the plumbing and who works the construction and keeps the streets like paved and shit? It's mostly men.
Yeah, so unfortunately, even though they say, like, they always get that statistic, like women, they're more educated, they're graduating more, and there's a higher amount of women more educated than men, but that doesn't really mean anything if you don't really use it, or you don't enhance it, and if you don't create, and if you don't maintain this world, because it doesn't matter how many women are going to be graduating, men are probably going to still run the world, because who else is going to do it,
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is I want to see more women plumbers, and
that's one thing that I never saw the feminists like complain about, was like, we need more women plumbers, we need more women laborers. Like I never heard that. It was all, we need to get them through college and so on.
Or women.
Changed. Maybe that's changed lately, but I don't think so.
Women, what's it called? They go into the sewer because the sewer needs maintenance too. Pick up the trash,
It's mostly a push to get them into the white collar jobs that are, like, to be honest, like, are completely like pointless. Like,
yeah, it is. That's
a lot
that's
of
one thing.
those corporate jobs, like, they could vanish and like it wouldn't have any impact on the world. I mean, that's a whole nother topic, I guess. But
yeah,
there's a lot of jobs out there that are just fucking useless, pointless.
Like yeah, it's true. Like
my job.
Like this job too, recording this podcast. But no, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like sometimes reality doesn't pan out as you want it to, because and that's one thing that Kevin Samuels used to sort of mention to women and also men that were delusional, that you can have all this fantasy and you can believe whatever you want in your mind. You know, create your fantasy world, and you're the princess, and 10 Prince Charmings are gonna come. They're gonna fight for you, blah blah, take care of you with your kids and shit.
Yeah.
But reality teaches something else, and it's like when back to that phrase, or you know, women will run the world one day, but not really. Just like it's like an iceberg. They're just running the tip of it. Underneath, everything's run by men. Like it's like those feminist march, and they go on strike. Like they create like, for one day we're not gonna do anything. Like, women, come on, let's all stick together. We're not gonna do anything so they can appreciate us. Imagine if men were to do that.
Oh man.
Like, no, who's gonna operate the gas station? Who's gonna, you know, doctors and pharmacies and your food and all this stuff, truckers, who's gonna pick up your trash, who's gonna maintain the water, something breaks in your, you know, in your house,
who's gonna
electricians, you know. Imagine imagine if guys we were to pick that. It's like, all right, for not even for a day, fuck, let's do it for a month. You know. So yeah, no, it will be chaos. You know, there's men stop existing or something happens. Freaking, this world is done. So, but anyways, that's one thing that he used to point out.
Basically, that the traditional gender roles, they existed for a reason, and they exist for a reason. And at the end of the day, we're all kind of bound by our biology.
Mm-hmm.
They try to say, like, you know, gender and all this stuff is like a social construct, but even then, like, the social construct is largely influenced by our biology, and that's why men have always been the more aggressive ones, the builders and the protectors and stuff, because it ties into our biology.
Yeah, so that's pretty much what he was trying to mention. That, well, not necessarily that. It was more towards dating, but he often will get
or into like the dynamics between men and women.
Yeah. He will get a listener that you know, she feel empowered, not like empowered, but all this body positivity that men should be looking for me and what happened and stuff like that. They feel entitled. And little do they know that they forgot to actually realize that, you know, it's you're low on value. Like, there's a market out there. Yeah, there's a market out there for partners and mating and stuff like that. And as you age, your value goes down. Same thing with guys, or well, actually with guys a little bit different. Like it's supposed to be that the older you get as a guy, the more resources you're accumulating, and that makes you attractive, or at least for providing, not necessarily physically attractive, but just as a
desirable, desirable person, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, but it's one thing, you know, reality, and another thing is fantasy. So yeah, just be careful with whatever you're thinking of.
Have realistic expectations.
Pretty much.
Wasn't there? There was like an old. Was it a Saturday Night Live or some old show where they used to have like a skit where it's like, oh man, I can't remember. It was like a dating show, and it's like lowered expectations or something like that. Do you remember that? That was some old like show. I don't remember.
No, not really. But I'm pretty sure it was funny. Even the title sounds funny, like lower your expectations.
I gotta look that up. I can't. I gotta look it up. I think it was Mad TV. Not Saturday Night.
Probably.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, lowered expectations. That's what it was called.
It's like my girl. She lowered her expectations with me. Yeah.
Exactly.
Or was it the other way around? Nah, no. Yeah, it's well, not necessarily lower your expectations. Like, keep the dream alive.
I mean, within
Keep the
reason,
dream
right?
alive. Ah,
It's like I have an acquaintance,
if
and
you're 300 pounds woman and you have 3 kids, don't worry, the Prince Charming is coming. It's coming, I swear.
so let me give you the perfect real life world example of this. Like this whole thing. It's like this acquaintance I have. I've known her for like 12 years. And back in the day, she was like super picky, super critical of men. Like men weren't shit. They need to make this much money. They need to have like big dicks, this sort of thing. I remember one time we were at a party and I got into an argument with her about this.
Mm-hmm.
But
what did she say?
About like dick size and stuff. And I told her like, yeah, the average is like 5 inches, and hers was like, oh well, it needs to be 7, whatever.
Maybe somebody's loose.
Anyway, like the years I've been acquainted with this girl for like honestly like 12 years, and
Lord Jesus.
And yeah, so I got to.
And
see
you haven't tapped that?
I've only known her like in passing. Like she was like a friend.
Oh, I see.
But
and bro.
Anyway, like I knew all her dirt, and like she got beat up and stuff like over the years, and then here we are at age 30, and yeah, she's single.
Still nothing.
Still
single. Still living the dream.
Still living the dream, right?
Yeah. You know what? Also, guys get that same attitude sometimes, and this is what I hate about some guys. That I have also some acquaintances that they are delusional, that they're waiting for the perfect gal. They have like strict freaking requirements, and they need to be this and this and that, and they need to be freaking Christians or Christian orientated and freaking same political stuff, which I'm like, fucking when I go on a date, that's like the last thing I talk about when I go on a date. Like, what politics?
It's like the dudes who are waiting for like the trad wives. I don't know if you've ever seen that. Like they're waiting for like they want like a perfect virgin traditional wife and super Christian, homely, and it's like, dude, you're never gonna find that. That doesn't exist. Like, sorry,
you want to hear my?
Exist, dude. Like, good luck.
I was working on a joke involving virgin, I guess intercourse.
Oh yeah.
That you know how some guys they want, like, they expect their wife or their mate or their girlfriend to be virgin because I want to be the first one, blah, 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 this and that. And even some religions, right?
Yeah.
Even some religions are like, oh yeah, virgin, you need to be a virgin, blah blah. And virgin until the honeymoon and shit like that, And I was working on a joke for my future coming stand-up comedy career and shit. That I'm like, all these people talking about, like, I want a virgin, I want a wife that is a virgin, blah blah. She's like 25, she's still a virgin, blah blah. And I'm like, Lord Jesus, like, freaking, that's awful, Even in some biblical, I guess, stories.
Yeah.
You do something, you'll be rewarded with virgins, right, in heaven or something. I'm like, I was thinking about that. I'm like, God, that sounds awful, because I don't know if anybody has ever had intercourse with a virgin. And I mean, like, we're already 20, and she was already a virgin. Man, that was like freaking awful. Well, I was awful, she was awful, and then later on, same thing. I met this was like years ago, but I met I think she was 24 and I was 27 at the time. And same thing. And well, I was more experienced at that time, And man, it was awful. Like, couldn't do anything. It even went down, to be honest. Like, I was like, I'll be back. I'm not gonna make myself a sandwich.
When I was 24, I dated like a 20-year-old. She wasn't a virgin, but I think she only been with maybe 1 or 2 other guys. And sometimes girls lie about that stuff, but nah, I actually believe it, because she, like,
it's true.
She didn't know anything. Like, you could tell. Like
she wasn't necessarily a virgin, shall we say? Like you said, she already had been broken in like 1 or twice. I'm like, this is awful. Like I'm already used to like freaking all right, reverse cowgirl. Now let's turn around.
Squawk 5000.
Yeah, like freaking what's it called? Long dick style, like Tyrone shit. Like alternation. Now you do this. Okay, now freaking get down and let me finish on your. Let me give you a facial, honey. Well, no, not to that extent, but let's just say I was already experienced, and they're like going up like this rookie. God damn, like, and yeah, you can tell that she's not experienced, and it's pretty bad. Anyway, that's my virgin joke and shit. That it's awful, dude. Because you're in your honeymoon, you have like a bad experience, and you're like, oh shit, now I'm stuck with this shit. Fuck. And same thing happens with girls, Because what if like you want a virgin guy, which I really doubt that's kind of.
I doubt that's a thing. Maybe I'm sure there is like maybe.
But imagine
other
like
versions, maybe.
You haven't seen anything, and then the honeymoon comes, and he has like a micro penis and shit.
Oh, ouch! That actually happened with.
yeah. I'm like, oh, that's gonna be no.
I had a friend that happened to, and yeah,
divorce.
Poor guy. No, they were gonna get married and they didn't.
Oh, because of that?
Yeah, and that dude was like, he had money too. He came from money. He was like a rich Middle Eastern guy. So
yeah, money cannot buy everything. So it's a sad world. Yeah, some say like maybe I'm not like good looking, freaking BTS or Instagram model freaking material, but at least I have a decent size, so I just be content with what you have.
Yeah. The normal distribution. I don't know if you remember statistics like on the bell curve and stuff. Like, being in the middle is not that bad.
Not that bad.
As long as you're not on the other end of the curve and stuff.
Yeah, so I mean, you never know. Maybe he has a pretty face. He has all this cash and dough. But when it's time to actually, it's like.
Well, I got a question though. Then how did this is going back to the past podcast, but like the trans men.
Mm-hmm.
How do they get by?
I need to upload that. I'm gonna do it now because I've been busy with other videos, but now I'm gonna go back to this one. But what was your question?
No, how do the trans men get by? Because like a trans man is a biological woman, right? They take hormones and then their clit like kind of gets a little bigger from the testosterone.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, it's still gonna be like a micro penis. Like,
well,
how do they get by?
What I've done some research. I've done some research, but I haven't done. I don't speak by experience. I think you go through cosmetic surgery. They, I think they literally, like like open that area. They pull out like pretty much the penis. Yeah, the clit. Like pull it, and I think it's a little longer than what it shows. Then they take and I saw some videos and
I think they take some of your skin, right?
Yeah, the skin from your thigh or something, which then sometimes the thigh is a little hairy, so now you have a hairy
I don't know, like, so maybe it kind of.
I saw some videos. I saw videos and like pictures, and it actually looks they're very graphic. So yeah, I think that's how they do it. They make a scission, or that's what it's called, a opening. They pull it out, as much as they can. Then they take part of skin from your thigh or some part of your body. They wrap it like a hot dog and stuff like that.
Interesting.
And like those, have you ever had those Wetzel pretzels? Hot dogs.
Oh yeah, pigs in a blanket.
Yeah, kind of like that. And that's how I guess that's how they do it. So. Which is kind of artificial, but I guess I don't know.
I knew that when they take testosterone, like it makes their clit like hang down a little bit. I guess they could do a surgery too. I didn't know about that.
Oh, I guess, but then if you take testosterone, would yours, like if you're a normal man, will it grow or?
I don't think so. It's
well,
just the clitoris gets like more blood going to it and makes it get bigger.
They just get boners.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. So that's what I read. I don't know. Maybe
That's just
I'm
what I
right,
read. Like, I wouldn't know firsthand or anything. You know?
I don't know firsthand. My boyfriend told me. No, my girlfriend that was a boy told me that's how it is. But yeah. Anyway, so okay. Dating tips and tricks. Any questions?
Oh, go ahead.
So I wanted that was Kevin Samuels. We'll throw some references if we remember more, but that's pretty much who he was. And we will officially pronounce him in this podcast as either. Well, there's a poll on what name we're gonna call him, either King Samuels or Legend Samuels, one or the other. This guy's going on my books and shit.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Which I also find out that I saw some of his videos, and when guys used to call him and be on his show, I'm pretty sure if I were to be, if I was a caller, he would put me in my place too.
Yeah.
He's like, so what's your pant size? And I was like, how much you make? And I'm like, No, we're not playing this game. How much do you make?
Hang on.
Damn. I make, and it's like, so you're a fuck boy. He'll be saying that shit to me. Still there? It's connected.
I had to step away for a minute, but I'm back.
Oh, you're back? Okay.
Yeah, I was listening to you though.
Yeah. Oh, so you.
I don't know if you watched that clip I linked in the thing. He's like, the first thing you need to do is confess to your friends that I am a fuck up. I was like, oh shit. You get a chance to watch the clip I put in the Discord.
I was like, I'm a fuck, like SpongeBob. I'm a fuck up in a pro.
Is confess your sins to your friends and tell them that I am a fuck up. I was like, oh
gosh, I get it. Well, yeah, he's kind of right. I am a fuck up.
It's like, you're 35, you dress like a teenager, you make money like a teenager, you date like a teenager. Like, oh shit. I was like, oh fuck.
No, it's like, oh shit, fuck. Yeah. It's pretty much me right there.
And he was also talking about like guys who are like 37, they've never worn a suit before, or they don't know like anything about like grooming. Mm-hmm. Or like there was one, he's like, you don't need to ask me how to get a woman when your ass stinks. He's like your ass is dirty. I'll find it.
Oh, there was like another guy. He's like, how much do you weigh? He's like 280 pounds. And what's your height? I was like, 5'7". Or some shit like that. I was like, oh, so you a fat fuck? It's like, oh, you got a big dick? He's like, well, I'm not.
He's like, I'm not. If you did, you'd be telling me right now.
Yeah. Like, okay, so yeah, so check this out. You don't make money. You're a fat dude with a small dick. I'm like, damn, this was hardcore. Shit. Pretty much. It's funny. But anyways, okay, so going back to the next subject, dating tips. So,
okay,
as King Samuels used to put it out, it depends. Well, it not depends. There's like no right or wrong equation. It's just
yeah, play it by ear.
Yeah. No. The thing is, well, from my experience, and what I've analyzed on dating and everything, because I've had my fair share with on dating, on the dating world, and getting meeting different type of girls, meeting all type of girls, like even different race and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And your one night standers here and there, or the occasional cuddle battle with a bad girl. But what, like, all these coaches, like dating coaches, that they always like promote especially to like, watch your channel or fucking buy your book or something like that on their dating tips, is that they sell you this formula. Like, if you do this, if you do this, you'll get it for sure. And then you are left out with, if that doesn't work, then you're like, oh shit, then I'm doing something wrong, blah blah, then it's me and blah blah. And it's not necessarily that you're doing something wrong, or it's you, or it's his method. Like, they're pretty much telling you that, oh, be me and do this from my experience, from where I come from how I look, and that's gonna get you some pussy. But it's not. That doesn't work. That is completely a lie. I should do a video on this shit. But anyways, what I've noticed from dating and how to impress a girl, what you need to do, and all this stuff. Not necessarily, always maintain your personality and your looks, specifically your looks, because that's the first thing you project when you meet someone, even in the world, like when you're gonna get a job, when anything.
It's true. Looks matter. Sadly.
Looks do matter. None of this like body positivity and have tattoos and freaking long ass hair like you look like a hobo and shit like that. Like no, it's not gonna work. I'm sorry. But once you pass that, the right way to get a girl is not follow this and that. It's not A to B. You need to, like Bruce Lee eloquently put it out, you need to be water, my friend. Become water. Be shapeless. Be shapeless like water and stuff like that. No, you gotta adapt. You gotta be.
So I got like 10 different personalities. I just gotta figure out which one to use.
Yeah, you have to, literally. No, it's true.
It's the truth.
I've done my whole life. It works every time, like a charm. Some nights I'm.
I think I'll use
Tyler,
personality B for tonight.
Sometimes, what's the guy from freaking Mad Men?
Oh, Mad Men.
Well, what's the name? What's his fucking name?
I can't remember.
Anyway, sometimes you're that, sometimes you're Tyler from Fight Club, it depends. But no, yeah, you have to adapt and sort of like mimic what the atmosphere, her personality and stuff like that. And actually one thing that's true is that if you start sort of mimicking their traits and the things, sometimes how they speak or how they express themselves, and sometimes how the gestures they do, they sort of start getting a little more comfortable with you. Because I mean, speaking from not logical, but what's it called? Well, not logical way, but human beings or us, we like ourselves, especially when we see, well, most of us like ourselves, right? And if you see someone that's like you, then you're becoming attractive, right? So if you sort of start copying them in a little way, in some ways, they'll start liking you a little bit more.
Yeah, that's all. You gotta pick up on their little quirks and their little cues and stuff.
Yeah, there's no like A to B. It's just you need to adapt. That's the best advice I can give. Like, learn how to adapt. Learn how to change and become a chameleon. And like Bruce Lee said, like, be water. Like, if you're a glass of water, then you're a glass of water. If you're a bowl of water, then you're a bowl of water. If you're a Klein bottle of water, then you're a Klein bottle of water. So that's the best analogy I can that I have come up with all these years of dating. Because sure, I'm still myself, but I have adapted to. It's like first adapt. So first is looks, then adapt, then they're interested on you. Once you're dating, then go back to yourself, and then that's either when the relationship goes on or it finished, because now they know your true self. So I'm only gonna give advice on how to get a girl, not how to keep a girl. Yeah, keep them. That's on you.
That's a whole different,
you, baby.
Yeah, that's a whole different animal.
Pretty much. So another thing, get out there. Like, dating tip. Like, if you want a girlfriend right now, you need to get out there. I know a few acquaintances too. They haven't been very successful on the dating world because they have, just like women, they have this fantasy that the perfect woman is gonna come and knock on their door and shit like that, and that's not how it works. You have to. You're a freaking hunter. Like, go out there and freaking hunt and shit.
Hunter gatherer.
Yeah, pretty much. Like sometimes it's like
predator.
yeah, pretty much.
Chasing
You have to
Arnold.
become a predator. Also, yeah, but you have to be careful because sometimes you cannot snap out of the predator mode. And this happened to me too. Like there was a time where I was like, I would just keep predating and predating. I was a bad predator and shit. Let's use another term. But no, like this hunter mode that okay, you have one, and then you're like, oh shit, well I need another one. Shit, like you don't know how to stop. So that has happened to me too. I've been a little, little fuckboy here and there, but. But I'm over that. I'm not like that no more. I'm not like that.
Right, honey?
Right, baby? That's good. Nah, I'm not like that no more. But nah, yeah, there was a time I was just pretty bad. Fuck, I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Jan, what the heck? What the fuck are you doing? That's not bad of it, boy. You're already on a good spot. This is a good spot.
Good thing. Nah.
It's like, you're already in a good spot. Fucking just, fucking, we need more. So, yeah, do your, like, I always
Adapt,
give this
improvise, overcome
and kill. I always give this advice where first work on yourself. And, like I said, like, freaking groom, work out, have a presentable body, presentable look. And after that, adapt or, well, that comes after. But after that, like hunt, get on those online dating sites, like all of them. Well, not all of them. Plenty of Fish is kind of,
that's where all the...
Yeah, it's all leftovers and ratchet and shit like that. So, yeah, get a subscription. I mean, you already pay for your Netflix and shit like that. Get a little subscription. It's probably like $6 a month or something like that. Do it for a good 3 months, and fucking you need to be aggressive on it. Just go and swipe right or swipe left. Also on Instagram or on Facebook or any other.
That's funny. It was like the last 3 girls I dated I met from Reddit and shit. Did I tell you? I think I did.
Oh, even Reddit. I remember didn't you also met somebody on Craigslist or something?
Oh yeah, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, like fuck, anything. Could have been a serial killer. Holy shit.
Actually, I met a couple, but one of them I met was our old roommate off Craigslist.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Oh shit. Yo.
Oh, I remember one time I met up with this freaking fucking whale from Craigslist.
Oh yeah.
And then I don't even know.
The hippo or the hyena?
I met up with this whale, and then fuck, I just wanted to leave, but I when I saw her in person, I was like, fuck, I just wanted to... It's just I just wanted to get up and leave, but I was too nice, and I stayed for the whole date and shit.
Oh Lord Jesus!
I know.
Sometimes I don't feel bad if you leave because I'm sure. I always think if I leave, I don't feel bad because I'm like, don't worry. If it was the other way around, they would have done the same thing. So
yeah, but at least for her, she got knocked up 2 months later, and I think she had a kid, and I think they're still.
Oh, so happy ending.
Right, happy ending. Happy ending.
Hey, the universe solved itself.
Yeah. What's your worst date you ever been on? That wasn't even my worst. I have my worst. But...
My worst date?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's a worst date, but I guess so. Remember Chick-fil-A girl?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it wasn't that. It was a worst date. It was a worse than not
aftermath.
No. I mean, I could go. I have a million stories, and this one is kind of long. But just to make long story short, it wasn't a worst day because the day was awful. It was that I was sick. Like, I had like a bad cold. I had a fever.
Oh.
And she still wanted to hang out. So my dumbass, freaking...
Like SpongeBob shivering? It's all sick?
Yeah, like I have the suds and shit.
The suds.
Yeah. And then she's like, you should... But I'm like, well... I told her, like, I'm not feeling too good. You just want to, like, hang out on my place and stuff like that? And she's like, yeah, we can do that. Like, she was kind of like over me and shit. And so me being a freaking horny idiot and shit, I was like, well, I'll just go pick her up and fucking, and everything's gonna be okay. And then she's like, are you sure? And I'm like, SpongeBob, I'm okay, honest. And I go and pick her up, and then I had to pick her up because she couldn't drive and shit.
Oh,
and then well, not she couldn't drive. I don't think she had a car or a ride and stuff like that. It was a long time ago. We were young adults, but at that point there's some girls that still don't have a car and stuff like that. They still get like, they had to borrow their parents' car and shit like that. I had my own ride. So I have to go pick it up, and on the way, no, we set up the date like that morning, and by night, I was feeling horrible. Like, I went and picked her up. I was already having a fever. I took some Dayquil and shit, but it wasn't really working. Then I came back. We watched sort of like a movie. I didn't even pay attention. I was falling asleep. And then she wanted to play and shit like that, and I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm gonna die right here. I'm gonna die here, and they're gonna frame you for killing me and shit. And then on top of that, she's like freaking. She was like one of those wild ones, and she was like scratching my back and wanted to scratch my face, and she's like, "Oh, can you choke me and shit like that?" I'm like, "What? No, like the fuck?" Like, it kind of pissed me off when she scratched my face and shit. So anyways, like, I finally drop her off. I'm like shivering on the whole way, like dropping her off. She's like, oh, are you okay? I'm like, no, yeah, I'm fine, honest.
Honestly.
Yeah, it was like a bad freaking date. Not that it wasn't like bad because something happened. It was just like I was freaking sick. Like, I was really sick and shit like that. But yeah. What about you?
Yeah, okay.
You pull the file out of the cabinet.
Yeah, so I was like on this like I have my ups and downs. Like, I go on these like freaking like highs of like self improvement and shit. Like, oh, I want to put myself out there. Blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really gonna focus on myself this year. I'm gonna date really really hard and all this stuff. And so I hop on the dating apps and stuff. And I don't know, I wasn't doing very well for like a few weeks. And then I meet this girl, and I started talking to her. And I don't know, we end up like chatting for like a few weeks. And then the night where actually I go pick her up, like we're gonna go get food. Like, I meet her and she's like, I've ever tell you this before?
No, but like literally.
No, I don't know. She had like, I don't know. She was like, but I don't know. I was like completely like embarrassed the whole fucking time. Like, I don't know. I felt so stupid about myself. And it's like, how did I not like pick up that this girl was like, had this range of. So I take her out to eat, and then she's like, "Oh, do you want to hang out more?" And I'm like, "No, not really." So I take her back home, and then on the drive home, like, I started crying. I started crying because it's like,
oh my god!
Because it's like, I don't know, I wasn't doing well on like the apps and shit, right? I was like, I kind of made my confidence go low, and then it's like, oh, the only girl who wanted to like go out with me this whole time was like like fucking. I started crying like.
Oh my god, dude, that's horrible. Oh my god. Wait, would that be considered like a catfish story?
Yeah, kind of like, yeah. I guess it would be kind of like a catfish story. And then too, it made me have like a flashback to like when I was younger. When I was in like, I think I was like middle school or something. And like I would get freaking teased for that and shit, and like, I don't know, I had like a childhood flashback to trauma and shit.
Oh. Oh no. Oh my god. Horrible. Nah. Holy shit. Nah, but
that was good. That was great.
that was good. That was great. That was great. I think there was like a joke where there was this guy. What's his name?
Man, I'm
He's
gonna
like
get in trouble for saying all that.
Nah, it's cool. It's cool.
Oh, and like, the girl was like in love with me too for a long time. I think I don't know if I told. I think I told you this before. It was right before I met I was like,
oh yeah. Well, no names, but
oh yeah. Well, man, blur it out.
Yeah, blur it out. Anyways,
But yeah, the girl was in love with me for like months and months, and she kept like messaging me and like calling me and stuff, and then she like finally left me a comment on like my YouTube channel. And then I finally like replied and told her like, hey, like, yeah, we just didn't connect. Like, please leave me alone. I felt so bad too, because you know she's like.
They also need love, so
they do, but not from me. I can't.
Not from
I can't deal with that.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm sorry.
Nah, it's cool. I mean, like, if every girl were to apologize every time they reject me, I would be a millionaire by now. So
yeah, I just felt bad because she was like clearly like, I should say.
Yeah, but it's not your fault. I mean, it's
not
his fault. It's just, you know, it's just nature. It is what it is.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, if I always say like if you were the same way, you'll be in the same boat with people. They will treat you like they will cast you like a leopard and shit. So it's tough, but That's the best you can pull up. Oh, Kevin Samuels is like looking over your shoulder and shit. That's the best you can do.
Exactly, that's how I felt.
Oh man.
Crying.
Oh my god.
There was a time where like that's a great story though.
There was a time where like it was the same story, but I was like in middle school. And freaking I'm in love with this girl, right? And I can't pull her through. Like I can't pull her off for some reason. And then the worst part is that the day before, so I confessed my freaking love and shit, like an idiot. I even took like a flower. It was like in middle school and shit. I'm the romantic type. But she says no, and the very next day, she's like girlfriend with another dude. I'm like, what? He's even shorter than me. And then the only thing I could pull off back then was like, you know, big gals. I don't know, for some reason I was like, I was in high demand for big gals. And then that big gal, she later on in high school, she turned lesbian. So I was like,
oh man,
damn, that's the best I can do.
Really did a number on her, right?
Yeah, you guys.
Haven't we all done that at least once?
Am I right?
Wasn't that meme that if your ex-girlfriend turns transgender, you won or something?
I don't remember.
Remember that was like a meme and shit.
Sounds familiar though.
Yeah, I was laughing when I saw that meme. But and then in high school, another thing, like it was the same thing. Like the only thing I can pull off was large gals and gay fellows.
Oh, those are the best.
So yeah, those are the best. I was in high demand for man. Those gays really wanted me. Like I was like, hey, I'm not a piece of steak, but actually in retrospect, I was a piece of steak back then. So I don't know. You know that
one hot tamale, right?
That was one hot tamale with mole and shit, with curry and shit. You know that scene in Matrix when this character named Cypher, he's having dinner with Agent Smith, and he has like the piece of juicy steak like in his fork, and he's describing it.
Oh,
I was that piece of steak back in the day. Yeah, I was
juicy.
Juicy. I forgot what he says.
I forgot what he says, but I remember the scene too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So give him a super detailed,
steak, so.
super detailed description of the steak.
I always say I don't want to be like cliche and be like, because you know there's always like the that phrase, right? It's like, hey, why are you looking at me? Especially like somebody that's like, well, back in the day too, right? Like they were more homophobic.
Oh yeah.
And they'll be like, hey, why are you looking at me? I'm not a piece of steak and stuff like that. I didn't want to be like cliche. I'm like, hey, I'm not a piece of steak, but actually I was a piece of steak, so I do understand, buddy. So
and you had little grilled sears on you and stuff.
yeah, so I was all seasoned and shit. Yeah, I was like fajita type steak and
medium
shit.
rare.
So yeah, nah, it wasn't until like I was 16, 17 that I sort of started growing into my face, I guess, or something. I don't know. And then I started getting the good stuff. I was like, huh, all right now. So yeah. But yeah, I had like some experience as well. So yeah, it happens. Good times. So anyways, for those tips, just go out there and find the girl that you want. Oh yeah, just be aggressive. Like find. I always say, you know, talk to 100 girls. Literally, you have to talk to 100 girls. Now, of those 100 girls, 3 will sort of reply to you and start liking you.
And net out there.
Pretty much. It's like everybody. I don't know. There's still that culture where, like, you know, you shouldn't be talking to. You should just be talking to one girl and blah blah, or one guy. Because girls, I'm pretty sure girls do this all the time. They're talking to multiple guys.
Oh
so,
yeah.
Yeah. So just do the same thing. Just talk to a bunch of girls, and then sort of start you know, like what do you call eliminating, process of elimination.
Oh, process of elimination, yeah.
Yeah, just be eliminating the ones that you don't like, blah blah, or the ones that sort of talk to you. Like gather the ones that talk to you. So out of 200 girls, and I know that it sounds ridiculous, like, oh, you mean I have to talk to 200 girls? I guess like probably how Kevin Samuels will say is like, yes, you need to talk to 200. Like even the most handsome guy needs to talk to 200 girls. It's just how it is. And out of that, those 200 girls, maybe 10, you'll be left with 10, like a good solid 10. And then you start. Actually, you can have fun with all of them. There's no really. You don't have to like limit yourself either, especially if you're young or something. But yeah, just have your fun, like 10, then date them all. Then if you get lucky with a few of them, then, you know, go for a test run on a few of them, and then you can start eliminating more, and then you're down to 1 and stuff like that. So yeah, technically, statistically speaking, and by probability, you should find someone. You know, because out of 1,000 girls, 1 will be interested in you. Also, don't. I don't want to say lower your expectations, because the girl that will like you, yeah, be real. But you can mold that in a way. So the way you do it is, out of 1,000 girls, let's say 10 again talk to you, and out of those 10 girls, 4 or 3 are gonna be like the prettiest ones, or the ones that you find attractive. Not necessarily the prettiest, it's the ones that you, because who you find pretty or attractive is subjective, you know, like whoever you find attractive the most, stick with those, and then the rest kind of have them on the side. That's how you get like a pretty girlfriend or a pretty, you know, partner, by probability. So gotta start adding math into this equation. So yeah, I mean, that's how I've done it my whole dating experience. And back then we didn't have those dating apps. I actually had to literally talk to girls in college and at work and stuff like that. Like, I was very social. So yeah. Oh crap. And yeah.
Just keep going. To all our viewers out there, just keep going.
Oh yeah, just keep going. Yeah, pretty much. And if you're a girl Actually, it works different if you're a girl. You literally just have to stand there and look pretty. It's pretty much what you have to do.
Take care of yourself.
But yeah, but not necessarily you don't have to do anything. Like if you want like a nice, because girls they always hear like, oh, I'm not dating because I want a nice guy, blah blah, or they always describe this like freaking guy that doesn't exist or they never met, and you never met that guy because you haven't found him. Don't think that he's gonna find you. Like you also have to be more aggressive. Like go and get the guy that you want. If it's on social media or on dating sites, or he's your coworker, or he's your classmate, or at work or whatever. Like go and get him, or else he's totally not. Either he likes you too, but he's just too scared to ask you, or he doesn't like you, or maybe he's like, I don't know, but guys are more it's easier to get a guy if you're a girl, because we're just looking to like have intercourse, and that's how you sort of get them. Shit. And then we feel bad if we don't call you, although there's some guys that also don't feel bad, but also there's some girls that don't feel bad not calling you. So go out there and find that guy, because that guy, same thing, is not gonna come and knock over your door. And yeah, a lot of guys are gonna come and knock to your door, but either you're not gonna like them, or you're gonna think they're losers, or they're overweight and all this stuff, or they're creepers. And the guy you actually like, later it turns out that he actually liked you, and just because you were too stubborn and too, like, oh, he should ask me, or blah blah blah. No, fuck that shit. Like go and ask him and tell him, hey, you want to go to the movies, or blah blah, or let's go watch a movie at your place, wink wink. And yeah, so girls, or ladies, if you want that Prince Charming, go find that Prince Charming. Don't think Prince Charming is gonna come and knock to your door, unless he's the Amazon man, then maybe, so yeah. Anyways,
was a great
anything you want to add?
No, I pretty much agree with all that.
Yeah, so should we wrap it up?
I think so. It's already been about an hour and a half.
Yeah, I think it was a good episode. So there you have it, folks. Thank you for staying tuned, and remember to like and subscribe and stay tuned, because we like to make podcasts every time we feel like it. Make sure you subscribe to this podcast, because we're trying to grow the channel and stuff like that. Make sure you check out my other YouTube channel, which I'll put in the descriptions. Make sure you also check out Ray's channels, which is 28 Rays Later and Ray versus the World. Which did you already upload your new video? Right?
Don't think so.
Don't think so.
I don't know. Just subscribe to help me out. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, just subscribe. We need that. Those boosts.
Yeah, follow me on Instagram, but it's not on right now. So go ahead, follow me anyway.
Well, maybe when you hear this podcast, it will be on. But also, don't forget to check out my other channel. Like I said, it's Jamshot. I'll put it in the descriptions. And also, make sure you check out my website, jamshot.com. I already uploaded it, so it's up and running. I just need to fix some bugs and add more content, but it's working. You can find cool stuff on the shop section, and hopefully everything goes good, and I can start adding the boards, man, the decks.
Do it.
Yeah, I've been working on designs. Actually, they're pretty cool. I amazed myself the other day. I was like, actually, it's coming up pretty well.
Man, my own genius amazes me sometimes.
Yeah, my own craft. But there you have it. Thank you for tuning in. We'll catch you guys on the next time.
And we're out.